The distress call. The alarm bells rang through the Kepler research station like angry metal birds. Dr. Elena Vasquez dropped her coffee cup and ran to the communication center. Her white coat flew behind her as she moved through the metal hallways of humanity's most advanced medical station in deep space. "What do we have?" she asked the young officer at the control panel. "Long-range distress signal, Doctor. It's coming from the Zephyrian system, about 40 light years from here," Officer Park said. His hands moved quickly over the glowing buttons. "They're asking for medical help," Elena frowned. She had heard of the Zephyrians before. They were peaceful crystal people who lived on a world made of singing stones. They never fought anyone and spent their time making beautiful art and studying the stars. What could have happened to them? "Put it through," she said. The main screen flickered to life. A tall, thin being made of what looked like living blue crystal appeared. Its voice sounded like wind chimes in a gentle breeze, but Elena could hear the fear behind the musical tones. "People of Earth," the Zephyrian said. "I am Elder Resonance of the Zephyrian Collective. We have heard stories of your healing ships and your medical skills. We need your help desperately." The crystal being's light grew dimmer as it spoke. "The Drakthor swarm has come to our world. They are creatures that eat everything in their path. Our people are dying. Our children hide in the deep caves while these monsters destroy our cities. We have no weapons. We have never needed them before." Elena felt her heart sink. The Drakthor were known throughout the galaxy as destroyers. They moved from world to world like a plague of giant insects eating everything they found. Most species just ran when they heard the Drakthor were coming. "We can fight them with our bodies," Elder Resonance continued, "but we are not warriors. We are artists and teachers. For every Drakthor we stop, 10 of our people die. Our healing crystals can mend small wounds, but not the terrible damage these creatures cause." The Elder's image flickered, showing scenes of destruction behind him. Beautiful crystal towers lay broken like shattered glass. Small Zephyrian children, their lights very dim, hid behind larger adults in dark caves. "We heard that humans have great healing ships," the Elder said. "Ships that can cure any disease and heal any wound. We do not have much to offer, but we will give you our most precious healing crystals if you will help us. Please, our people are dying every day." Elena looked at Officer Park. The young man's face was grim. Everyone in the station knew about the Drakthor. They were one of the worst things in the galaxy. "Tell them we will help," Elena said. "Tell them our healing ships are coming." Officer Park typed quickly on his keyboard. "Message sent, Doctor." "But should we tell them about—" "No," Elena said firmly. "Let it be a surprise." As the communication ended, Elena walked to her office and opened a secure channel to Earth Defense Command. Admiral Rodriguez appeared on her screen, his weathered face serious. "Admiral, we have a situation," Elena began. "The Zephyrian Collective is under attack by the Drakthor swarm. They've asked for medical aid." The Admiral raised an eyebrow. "The Zephyrians? Those peaceful crystal folks? They wouldn't hurt a fly. What did you tell them?" "That our healing ships would come," Elena said. "I'm requesting the hospital ships from the 3rd Medical Fleet." Admiral Rodriguez smiled grimly. "You mean the Hippocrates, Pasteur, and Fleming? Those aren't just hospital ships, Doctor. They're floating fortresses with medical bays attached." "I know," Elena said, "but the Zephyrians don't. They think we're sending small medical transports. They have no idea what human hospital ships actually look like." The Admiral laughed. "Those poor crystal people are going to get quite a shock. 3 of our biggest ships, each one carrying enough firepower to glass a small moon, showing up to play doctor." "The Drakthor are a serious threat," Elena said. "The Zephyrians need protection while we treat their wounded. Our hospital ships are perfect for this job." "Agreed," the Admiral said. "I'll give the order. Captain Chen on the Hippocrates is a good man. He'll take care of those crystal folks. But Doctor, you might want to send them a message explaining what they're going to see. Human hospital ships tend to make people nervous." Elena thought about it for a moment. "No, I think it's better if they see for themselves. They need to understand that when humans offer medical aid, we don't just bring bandages. We bring everything needed to keep our patients safe." 3 hours later, the orders went out across the human fleet. The UES Hippocrates, Pasteur, and Fleming began preparing for immediate departure. Each ship was massive, over 2 kilometers long and bristling with weapons. They looked more like flying cities than hospitals. Captain Marcus Chen stood on the bridge of the Hippocrates, reading the mission briefing. Around him, his crew prepared for hyperspace jump. These were not ordinary sailors. They were combat medics, warrior healers who had seen the worst the galaxy could offer. "Dr. Park," Chen called to his chief medical officer. "How many wounded are we expecting?" "Unknown, sir," Dr. Park replied. The Zephyrians' message suggested heavy casualties. Their population is about 50 million, and they've been fighting the Drakthor for 2 weeks. Chen nodded grimly. "Prep all medical bays. I want trauma teams ready the moment we arrive. And tell the weapons crews to stay alert. Where there are Drakthor, there's usually trouble." Lieutenant Commander Singh, the ship's weapons officer, looked up from her console. "Sir, should we inform the Zephyrians about our defensive capabilities?" "No," Chen said. "Let them focus on their wounded. We'll handle everything else." As the 3 massive ships prepared to jump to hyperspace, Elena watched from the observation deck of Kepler Station. She knew the Zephyrians were expecting small, peaceful medical ships. Instead, they were going to get some of humanity's most powerful vessels, crewed by people who believed that sometimes the best medicine was making sure the patient stayed safe. The Hippocrates, Pasteur and Fleming disappeared in flashes of blue light, heading toward the Zephyrian system at faster-than-light speed. Elena smiled slightly. The Zephyrians had asked for healing ships, and that's exactly what they were getting. They just didn't know that human healing ships came with enough firepower to level continents. In 48 hours, the Crystal people would learn something important about humanity. When humans promised medical aid, they meant it. And they would let nothing stop them from keeping that promise, no matter how big or scary it was. The Drakthor swarm was about to discover that attacking innocent people under human medical protection was a very serious mistake. The galaxy's most peaceful species had just called for help from its most protective one. The fleet arrives. 3 days after sending their desperate message, the Zephyrians gathered on the highest crystal towers of their capital city to watch the sky. Elder Resonance stood with the other leaders, their blue crystal bodies glowing softly in the light of their purple sun. They expected to see small, gentle medical ships arriving to help their wounded people. What they saw instead made every crystal being on the planet stop glowing entirely. 3 massive shapes dropped out of hyperspace above their world. Each ship was longer than their biggest city, and covered in metal armor that gleamed like angry stars. Rows of weapons lined their sides like teeth in a predator's mouth. Strange fighters buzzed around them like metal insects. "By the Great Crystal," whispered Elder Harmony, her voice shaking like broken bells. "What are those things?" Elder Resonance stared up at the ships in shock. The humans said they were sending medical aid. "These look like warships." "Maybe they're here to conquer us," said Elder Peace, his light flickering with fear. "Maybe the humans are no better than the Drakthor." The largest ship, the Hippocrates, moved closer to the planet. Its shadow fell across the crystal city like a metal mountain. Then a voice came from the ship, speaking in perfect Zephyrian crystal song. "This is Captain Marcus Chen of the United Earth ship Hippocrates. We are responding to your request for medical assistance. Please do not be alarmed by our appearance. These are hospital ships from Earth's medical fleet." Elder Resonance found his voice. "Hospital ships? But you look like you could destroy our entire world." Captain Chen's voice carried a note of amusement. "We could, but that's not why we're here. We come in peace, but we come prepared for war. That's the human way." On the bridge of the Hippocrates, Captain Chen looked down at the beautiful crystal world below. The planet's surface was covered in singing towers and glowing cities, but he could see the dark scars where the Drakthor had attacked. Broken crystal structures lay scattered like shattered glass across what had once been peaceful valleys. "Dr. Park," Chen called to his medical officer. "What do our scanners show?" Dr. Park studied his readings carefully. "Massive casualties, sir. I'm detecting at least 2 million wounded Zephyrians hiding in underground shelters. Many are dying from injuries our medical technology can easily fix." "Then let's get to work," Chen said. "Launch all medical shuttles. Set up field hospitals in the main cities, and tell the weapon crews to stay alert. The Drakthor might still be in the system." Within minutes, dozens of shuttles launched from the 3 hospital ships. Each shuttle was the size of a small building and packed with medical equipment that seemed like magic to the watching Zephyrians. The humans worked with military precision, setting up healing stations across the planet in record time. Dr. Sarah Martinez stepped off the first shuttle to land in the crystal capital. She was a tall woman with kind eyes and steady hands, but she wore armor under her medical coat and carried weapons alongside her healing tools. The Zephyrians had never seen anything like her. "Elder Resonance?" she called out in their musical language. I'm Dr. Martinez, trauma surgeon from the Hippocrates. We're here to help your people. The Crystal Elder approached carefully. You speak our language perfectly. How is this possible? We studied your communication records during our trip here, Dr. Martinez explained. Learning new languages quickly is important when you're trying to save lives. Now, where are your wounded? Elder Resonance led her through the broken streets to a large crystal cave, where hundreds of injured Zephyrians lay on the ground. Their lights were very dim, and many were making sad, broken sounds instead of their usual musical tones. Dr. Martinez took one look at the wounded and began giving orders to her team. Set up the mobile surgery unit here. Get the trauma beds ready, and someone get me more healing gel. We're going to need a lot of it. The human medics moved like dancers in a deadly ballet. They lifted Zephyrians who seemed too badly hurt to live and placed them on strange floating beds. Machines hummed and glowed as they scanned the crystal beings' bodies. Within minutes, wounds that had been bleeding for days were sealed shut. Elder Resonance watched in amazement as a young Zephyrian child, whose crystal arm had been completely shattered, was placed in a healing chamber. Blue light filled the chamber, and when it faded, the child's arm was perfect again. How do you do this? The Elder asked. Your healing technology is beyond anything we have ever seen. Dr. Martinez smiled as she worked on another patient. We learned to heal by learning to fight. Human medicine advanced quickly because we kept hurting each other in wars. Every weapon we invented taught us new ways to fix the damage it caused. But you are so gentle with our wounded, Elder Resonance observed. You treat them as if they were your own children. They are, Dr. Martinez said simply. When someone is hurt and needs help, they become our responsibility. It doesn't matter what species they are or where they come from. That's the first rule of human medicine. Above the planet, Captain Chen monitored the rescue operation from his bridge. His weapons officer, Lieutenant Commander Singh, looked up from her console with concern. Sir, I'm detecting movement at the edge of the system. Large biological signatures. It looks like the Drakthor might be coming back. Chen nodded grimly. How long until they reach the planet? Approximately 6 hours, sir. That's not enough time to evacuate all the wounded, Chen said. We'll have to stand and fight. Dr. Park, who was coordinating the medical operation, overheard. Sir, we have medical teams all over the planet. We can't abandon our patients, we won't, Chen said firmly. Signal the Pasteur and Fleming. Tell them to prepare for combat operations. We're going to show the Drakthor what happens when they threaten people under human medical protection. On the planet's surface, Elder Resonance noticed the change in the humans' behavior. They became more focused, more alert. Some of the medical personnel began checking weapons alongside their medical equipment. What is happening? He asked Dr. Martinez. The Drakthor are coming back, she said calmly as she continued treating a wounded Zephyrian. Don't worry. We'll keep working while our ship protects us. Your medical ship is going to fight the Drakthor swarm? Elder Resonance asked in disbelief. Dr. Martinez looked up at him with a small smile. Elder, I think there's something you need to understand about human hospital ships. We don't just come to heal. We come to make sure our patients stay safe while we heal them. And if something tries to hurt our patients, we hurt it back. The Zephyrian Elder stared at her in wonder. You are healers and warriors at the same time? The best human medics usually are, Dr. Martinez said. How can you truly heal someone if you're not willing to protect them from what hurt them in the first place? As the Drakthor ships moved closer to the Zephyrian world, the 3 human hospital ships began powering up their weapon systems. Gun ports opened along their sides like hungry mouths. Fighter craft launched from their hangar bays in perfect formation. The Zephyrians realized they were about to witness something their peaceful culture had never imagined. Warriors who fought not for conquest or glory, but for the simple right of innocent people to live and heal in peace. The humans had come to help, and nothing in the galaxy was going to stop them from keeping that promise. The swarm strikes, the Drakthor swarm, came like a plague of living nightmares. Elder Resonance watched from the crystal tower as thousands of dark shapes moved across the starfield toward his world. Each Drakthor bioship was the size of a city block, covered in chitin armor and bristling with organic weapons that pulsed with sickly green light. So many, whispered Elder Harmony, her crystal body flickering with terror. There are so many more than before. The Zephyrian Defense Fleet, 12 beautiful ships shaped like singing crystals, moved to meet the invasion. They were elegant vessels designed for exploration and peaceful contact with other species. Against the massive Drakthor swarm, they looked like butterflies facing a hurricane. "Our ships are trying to fight," Elder Peace said sadly. "But look how small they are." The battle was over in minutes. Green energy beams from the Drakthor ships cut through the crystal vessels like hot knives through ice. One by one, the proud ships of the Zephyrian fleet exploded in showers of glittering fragments. Within 10 minutes, all 12 ships were gone. "It is finished," Elder Resonance said, his voice heavy with despair. "The humans cannot fight so many enemies with just 3 ships. We should tell our people to prepare for the end." But on the bridge of the Hippocrates, Captain Chen was making very different plans. "All ships, this is Chen," he said into his communicator. "The Drakthor just killed the local defense fleet. We are now the only thing standing between these monsters and 50 million innocent people." "Understood, Hippocrates," came the reply from Captain Torres of the Pasteur. "My ship is ready for combat." "Fleming standing by," added Captain Kumar. "All weapons charged and ready." Chen looked at his weapons officer. "Commander Singh, what's our tactical situation?" Lieutenant Commander Singh studied her displays with the calm focus of a predator. "Approximately 3,000 Drakthor bioships, sir. They outweigh us 50 to 1. In a fair fight, they would destroy us." "Good thing we don't fight fair," Chen said with a grim smile. "Launch all fighters. Prepare the main guns, and activate the medical base shields. We're not stopping our healing work just because we have to kill some monsters." The transformation of the hospital ships amazed the watching Zephyrians. Weapon ports that had been hidden behind armor plates suddenly opened along the ship's sides. Each port revealed guns the size of buildings. Fighter craft poured from the hangar bays like angry metal wasps, their engines glowing blue-white against the darkness of space. "By the Great Crystal," Elder Resonance breathed, "those are not medical ships. Those are weapons of war." "No," said Dr. Martinez, who had continued treating wounded Zephyrians even as the battle began above them. "They are both. That's what makes them so effective." The human fighters reached the Drakthor swarm first. Each small craft carried weapons that could punch holes through battleship armor. They moved in perfect coordination, striking at the larger bioships like surgical instruments cutting out diseased tissue. The Drakthor bioships were individually powerful, but they relied on overwhelming numbers rather than tactics. They had never faced enemies who could match their firepower while also outthinking them. "Target the largest bioships first," Captain Chen ordered. "Cut the head off this snake." The main guns of the Hippocrates opened fire. Beams of pure energy, each one carrying enough power to destroy a mountain, lanced out across space. Where they touched the Drakthor ships, the organic armor simply vaporized. The Pasteur and Fleming added their firepower to the battle. Together, the 3 hospital ships created a wall of destruction that the Drakthor swarm could not break through. For every shot the bioships fired at the human vessels, the humans returned 10. But the Drakthor had numbers on their side. Green energy beams struck the Hippocrates, causing the great ship to shudder. Damage reports flooded in from across the vessel. "Hull breach on deck 12, reported the ship's engineer. "Medical Bay 7 is venting atmosphere." "Seal it off," Chen ordered. "Keep the main medical bays operational. We have patients to protect." In the crystal caves below, the wounded Zephyrians watched in amazement as human medics continued their work, despite the battle raging overhead. When the ship shook from enemy fire, the humans simply braced themselves and kept healing. When debris fell from the ceiling, they covered their patients with their own bodies. "Why do they not stop?" asked a young Zephyrian whose leg was being repaired by a human surgical robot. "The battle could kill them all." Dr. Martinez looked up from the patient she was treating. "Because you need healing. That's more important than our safety." "But you could die," the young Zephyrian said. "Maybe," Dr. Martinez agreed. "But if we run away, you definitely will die. We can't accept that." Above them, the battle was reaching its peak. The Drakthor had lost over half their ships, but they were still pressing their attack. Several bioships broke through the human defensive line and headed for the planet's surface. "Atmospheric assault incoming," Commander Singh reported. 6 bioships are heading for the medical stations." Captain Chen made a decision that would become legend among both humans and Zephyrians. "All ships, emergency descent. We're taking this fight to the planet's surface." The 3 massive hospital ships, each weighing millions of tons, dropped into the planet's atmosphere like falling mountains. Their shields glowed white-hot as they plunged through the sky, chasing the Drakthor bioships that threatened the medical camps below. The Zephyrians had never seen anything like it. Ships the size of cities fighting battles in their atmosphere, while human medics on the ground continued treating patients as if nothing unusual was happening. On Drakthor bioship landed near the main medical camp and began extending tentacles toward the wounded Zephyrians. Dr. Martinez stood up, pulled a weapon from her medical kit and began firing at the alien monster. "All medical personnel," she called out calmly, "please remember to protect your patients. Use lethal force as needed." The human medics responded immediately. While continuing to treat the wounded with one hand, they fought off the Drakthor assault troops with the other. The aliens found themselves facing enemies who could perform surgery and warfare with equal skill. The battle ended when the Hippocrates dropped to low altitude and fired its main guns directly at the largest bioship. The blast vaporized the creature and sent a message to the remaining Drakthor. The humans would not allow any threat to their patients. Within an hour, the last Drakthor ship was destroyed. The swarm that had terrorized the Zephyrian system for weeks was gone, eliminated by 3 hospital ships that fought like battle cruisers while never stopping their mission of healing. As the smoke cleared, Elder Resonance approached Dr. Martinez with wonder in his crystal eyes. "I do not understand," he said. "How can you be healers and killers at the same time?" Dr. Martinez smiled as she bandaged a wounded Zephyrian child. "It's simple, Elder. We heal because we care about life, and we fight because we refuse to let anyone destroy the lives we're trying to save." The Zephyrians began to understand that they had witnessed something unique in the galaxy, warriors who fought not for conquest, but for the right of the innocent to live and heal in peace. The revelation. 3 days after the battle, the crystal cities of the Zephyrian world hummed with activity. Human medical teams worked around the clock in gleaming white tents that had been set up among the broken crystal towers. The wounded were healing faster than anyone had thought possible, but the Zephyrian leaders had many questions. Elder Resonance walked through the main medical camp, watching human doctors treat both Zephyrian civilians and captured Drakthor soldiers with equal care. This confused him greatly. The Drakthor had tried to destroy his people, yet the humans healed their wounds just as carefully as they healed Zephyrian children. In one tent, Dr. Martinez was operating on a Drakthor warrior, whose chitinous armor had been cracked by weapons fire. The creature was unconscious, but its natural weapons could still kill if it woke up angry. 2 armed human guards stood nearby, ready for trouble. "Dr. Martinez," Elder Resonance called softly, "may I speak with you?" The human doctor continued her work but nodded. "Of course, Elder, what's troubling you?" "Why do you heal our enemies?" he asked. "The Drakthor came to destroy us. They killed thousands of my people, yet you treat their wounds as if they were friends." Dr. Martinez carefully repaired a damaged organ inside the alien warrior. "Because that's who we are, Elder. We heal everyone who needs healing. It doesn't matter if they're friend or enemy." "But this creature would kill you if it could," Elder Resonance pointed out. "Probably," Dr. Martinez agreed. "That's why we have guards. But being dangerous doesn't mean it should suffer. Pain is pain no matter who feels it." Elder Resonance was quiet for a moment. "Your people are very strange. You fight like demons to protect us, then show mercy to those who would destroy us. How can you do both?" Dr. Martinez finished the surgery and stepped back. "It's not about the Drakthor, Elder, it's about us. We choose to be healers because we believe all life has value. If we stopped healing our enemies, we would stop being who we are." Later that day, the Zephyrian Elder Council gathered in their great crystal hall to meet with Captain Chen. The human officer stood before them in his blue uniform, looking calm despite being surrounded by beings who could kill him with a thought. "Captain Chen," Elder Resonance began, "we need to understand your people. You came here as healers, but you fight like the greatest warriors in the galaxy. How is this possible?" Captain Chen looked around the circle of crystal beings. "Elder, may I ask you a question first? Why did you call for medical aid instead of military help?" "Because we are a peaceful people," Elder Harmony answered. "We do not believe in violence. We thought you would send small medical ships to treat our wounded." "And if the Drakthor had attacked those small medical ships?" Chen asked. The elders were quiet. They had not thought about that. "Our wounded would have died," Elder Peace finally admitted. "And your healers would have died too." "Exactly," Chen said. Humans learned long ago that healing and fighting are connected. You cannot truly heal someone if you cannot protect them from what hurt them in the first place. Elder Resonance's crystal body flickered with curiosity. Tell us about your history, Captain.
How did your people become this way?
Captain Chen sat down in the chair they had provided for him. Humans have been fighting each other for thousands of years, Elder. Every war taught us new ways to hurt people, but it also taught us new ways to heal them. Our greatest medical advances came from treating battle wounds. That seems backwards, Elder Harmony said. How can violence lead to healing? Because when people are dying in front of you, you learn to work fast, Chen explained. You learn to fix terrible injuries with whatever tools you have. You learn that sometimes you have to cut someone open to save their life. Human medicine became so good because human war was so bad. Dr. Park, who had been listening quietly, stepped forward. If I may add something, Captain. We also learned that the same hands that can kill can also heal. Many of our best doctors are former soldiers. They understand both violence and compassion. But why do you risk your lives for strangers? Elder Peace asked. We are not your people. You owe us nothing. Captain Chen's expression became very serious. Elder, let me tell you something about humans. We believe that when someone is helpless and in danger, protecting them becomes everyone's duty. It doesn't matter what species they are or where they come from. Even if it costs you your lives? Elder Resonance asked. Especially then, Chen said firmly. Any species can be brave when the cost is low. It takes real courage to help someone when it might destroy you. That's when you find out who you really are. Dr. Martinez joined the meeting, having finished her surgery on the Drakthor warrior. The prisoner is stable, she reported. He'll live. Will you question him? Elder Harmony asked. That's not our job, Dr. Martinez said. We're healers, not interrogators. Someone else can ask him questions after he's recovered. Elder Resonance studied the human doctor. You really do not care that he is your enemy? When he was on the operating table, he wasn't my enemy, Dr. Martinez said. He was just another patient who needed help. That's how we see it. Your people are unlike any others in the galaxy, Elder Peace observed. Most species are either warriors or healers, but never both. Most species never had to be both, Captain Chen replied. Humans learned to fight because our world was dangerous. We learned to heal because fighting hurt so many people. Over time, we realized that the best way to protect life is to be ready for both. Commander Singh, who had been monitoring communications, approached the group. Sir, we're receiving multiple distress calls from other systems. Word has spread about what happened here. What kind of calls? Chen asked. Medical aid requests, sir. But they're all specifically asking for human healing ships. It seems the galaxy has learned that our medical aid comes with protection included. Elder Resonance's crystal body brightened with understanding. You have shown the galaxy something new. You have proven that healers can be protectors too. That's always been true, Dr. Martinez said. We're just the first species to make it official policy. What will you do now? Elder Harmony asked. Captain Chen stood up. We'll answer the calls for help. That's what we do. But first we need to make sure your people are fully healed and your world is safe. And the Drakthor prisoners? Elder Peace asked. We'll heal them completely, Dr. Martinez said. Then we'll turn them over to the Galactic Council for judgment. Our job is to save lives, not to punish people. As the meeting ended, Elder Resonance approached Captain Chen privately. Captain, I have one more question. Are all human medical ships like yours? Chen smiled. Elder, what you've seen here is normal for us. Every human hospital ship is a fortress. Every human medic is trained for combat. When humans promise medical aid, we mean it, and we let nothing stop us from keeping that promise. The Elder's crystal body pulsed with a new kind of light. Then the galaxy is about to change. Word of your actions here will spread to every world, every species. Everyone will know that calling for human medical aid means calling for protectors who will never abandon those in need. That's the idea, Chen said simply. The universe is a dangerous place, but it's a little less dangerous when someone is willing to stand between the innocent and those who would hurt them. As night fell over the crystal world, the human medical teams continued their work by the light of glowing lamps. In the distance, the great hospital ships stood guard like metal mountains, ready to defend the helpless and heal the wounded. The Zephyrians had learned that true compassion sometimes required strength, and that the greatest healers were those who would fight for the right to heal. A new Alliance 6. Months after the Battle of Zephyria, Elder Resonance stood in the newly built joint medical station orbiting his homeworld. The structure was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen before. Part crystal singing tower, part human fortress. Zephyrian healing crystals grew alongside human medical computers, creating technology that seemed almost magical. The integration is proceeding better than expected, reported Dr. Martinez, who now served as the station's chief medical officer. Your people's natural healing abilities, combined with our medical technology, are saving lives we never could have saved alone. Elder. Resonance watched through the transparent crystal walls as human and Zephyrian medics worked together in the main medical bay. A human doctor was learning to use crystal healing techniques, while a young Zephyrian studied human surgical procedures on a holographic display. 6 months ago, I thought healing and fighting were opposites, the elder said. Now I understand they are partners. The station's communication center suddenly came alive with urgent beeping sounds. Commander Singh, who had transferred from the Hippocrates to help run the new facility, looked up from her console with concern. We're receiving multiple distress calls, she announced. The Galactic Republic is under attack by the Void Seekers. The Ferrani Collective is fighting off a plague that's killing their children, and the mining colonies in the Taurus sector are requesting immediate medical evacuation due to reactor failures. Dr. Martinez looked at the list of emergencies scrolling across her screen. 3 major crises all happening at the same time. We'll need to split our resources. Actually, Elder Resonance said, his crystal body glowing with excitement, I have a better idea. It is time for the first joint human Zephyrian medical mission. Within hours, 3 new ships launched from the station. They were smaller than the great hospital ships, but just as advanced. Each vessel combined human military technology with Zephyrian healing crystals, creating mobile medical facilities that could fight and heal with equal effectiveness. The ZES Harmony, commanded by Captain Chen and Elder Peace working together, headed for the Galactic Republic. The ship was beautiful to look at. Sleek human lines decorated with glowing crystal formations that sang softly as they moved through space. This is amazing, Captain Chen said as he watched the ship's systems respond to both human controls and Zephyrian crystal song commands. Your people's ability to grow technology organically has revolutionized our medical capabilities. Elder Peace, who had learned to work with human combat systems, monitored the tactical display. And your people's protective instincts have given us the courage to face dangers we never could have handled alone. The Galactic Republic was a species of small, furry beings who lived in underground cities. They were being attacked by the Void Seekers, creatures that fed on life energy and left only empty husks behind. Their technology was no match for the energy-draining aliens. This is President Calyx Prime, came a frightened voice over the communication system. Are you the human healing ships we requested? This is the ZES Harmony, Captain Chen replied. We are a joint human Zephyrian medical vessel. We're here to help, joint, the President asked in confusion. What does that mean? Elder Peace sang a response in the universal harmony frequency that most species could understand. It means we bring both healing and protection, but from 2 different peoples working as one. The harmony arrived at the Galactic system to find dozens of dark ships draining the life from the planet below. The Void Seekers' vessels looked like mechanical spiders, with long tendrils that reached down to suck energy from the surface. Zephyrian healing crystals are registering massive life force depletion, Elder Peace reported. The planet is dying. Then we stop the drain, Captain Chen said grimly. Weapons free. Target the tendril connections. The Harmony opened fire with a combination of human plasma cannons and Zephyrian energy focusers. The beams of light struck the Void Seeker ships like singing swords, cutting through their armor with precision that neither species could have achieved alone. While the ship fought above, human and Zephyrian medics worked together on the planet's surface. The Void Seekers had drained the life force from thousands of Galactic citizens, leaving them in a state between life and death. Human medicine alone cannot help them, Dr. Martinez reported. Their life energy has been stolen, not just damaged. But Zephyrian crystals can restore life force, added Elder Harmony, who had joined the medical team. If we combine our techniques. Working together, the human and Zephyrian healers developed a new treatment. Human medical equipment stabilized the victims' bodies while Zephyrian healing crystals restored their stolen life energy. Within hours, Galactic citizens who had been declared dead were sitting up and asking for food. President Calix Prime watched in amazement as his people were brought back from the edge of death. This is impossible. No one has ever reversed Voidseeker Drain before. No one has ever tried doing it with both human and Zephyrian medicine at the same time, Dr. Martinez explained. Together we can do things neither of us could do alone. Similar scenes played out across the galaxy as the other joint medical ships responded to emergencies. The Ferrani plague, which had resisted all known treatments, was cured by a combination of human antiviral drugs and Zephyrian harmonic healing. The reactor disaster in the Taurus sector was handled by human engineering teams protected by Zephyrian energy shields. News of the successful missions spread quickly through galactic communication networks. Within days, the joint human Zephyrian medical stations were receiving hundreds of requests for aid. It seems the galaxy approves of our partnership, Elder Resonance observed as he and Dr. Martinez reviewed the incoming calls for help. More than that, Dr. Martinez said. We're starting to receive applications from other species who want to join the medical corps. The Andorian engineers want to add their technology to our ships. The Terran healers from the Outer Rim are offering their knowledge of rare diseases. Elder Resonance's crystal body brightened with hope. A truly galactic medical organization. Healers and protectors from every species, working together to help those in need. A year later, the First Galactic Medical Congress met on the joint station above Zephyria. Representatives from dozens of species gathered to sign the Medical Protection Treaty, which established the principle that medical aid would always be protected by force if necessary. Captain Chen, now promoted to Admiral, stood before the assembled delegates. Today we establish a new principle in galactic relations. When someone calls for medical help, they will receive not just healing but protection. No one will be allowed to attack the helpless while healers are trying to save them. Elder Resonance added his voice to the declaration. We have learned that true compassion requires courage. True healing requires protection. And the greatest medicine is the knowledge that someone will always stand between the innocent and those who would harm them. The treaty was signed by every major civilization in the galaxy. The symbol chosen for the new organization was simple but powerful. A human medical cross intertwined with a Zephyrian healing crystal, surrounded by weapons that pointed outward, ready to defend. As the Congress ended, Admiral Chen received a priority message from Earth Defense Command. Sir, we're tracking a massive distress signal from the Galactic Rim. An entire star system is under attack by something we've never seen before. They're specifically requesting the joint medical fleet. How many ships are we talking about? Chen asked. All of them, sir. Every medical vessel in the galaxy. The message says they need the largest medical response in galactic history. Admiral Chen smiled and looked out at the fleet of ships surrounding the station. Human hospital ships worked alongside Zephyrian crystal vessels, Andorian engineering platforms, and medical craft from dozens of other species. It was the largest collection of healing ships ever assembled, but also the most heavily armed medical fleet in the galaxy's history. Signal all ships, he ordered. We have work to do. As the great fleet prepared to jump to hyperspace, Elder Resonance sent a final message to the unknown beings who had called for help. Help is coming. The healers are on their way and they bring protection with them. No matter who you are or what threatens you, you will not face it alone. The galaxy had learned an important lesson from the humans and Zephyrians. When someone promised medical aid, they should mean it completely, and they should be prepared to fight anyone who tried to stop them from keeping that promise. The age of protected healing had begun, and it would change the galaxy forever.